Well, it seems Channel 1 decided to take a break for the weekend, and there was serious fire in the Bronx that they did not cover, and yet the other media outlets actually did cover. And believe it or not, Channel 7 did send a reporter right away this morning, and that was Marcus Solis, so thank goodness he was there, because obviously this is a story that broke out earlier this morning. So we're going to get right into it since Spectrum doesn't seem to care about it. So a 2 alarm fire injures 9 people. Now, according to Channel 7, and we'll pull it up on their homepage, as you can see here, and we'll pull it up. Channel 7 saying it's 10 people injured. So, guess I'll read the Channel 7 article since I don't really want to read from AM New York. So, let me just put this on... Oh, good. It was already on mute. Okay, good. 10 injured in a fire at a Bronx apartment building. So let's read this from Channel 7. In the University Heights section. That's an epic fail. University Heights is in the Bronx. Okay, here we go. So the fire was on Grand Avenue in the University Heights section just after 6 a.m. A fire broke out in the third floor of a 6-story residential building. The fire spread quickly, and a second alarm was called, bringing in 25 units and 106 fire personnel to the scene. Firefighters said the apartment door was left open, which was allowing the fire to spread throughout to the upper floors. 10 people, including one FDNY member, were hurt, but it's believed their injuries are not life-threatening. 7 people were taken to a nearby local hospital. The fire was under control at 7:30, so an hour and a half. But still, I mean, that's just... You gotta close the door. You know, that's the problem. So I'll look up the article on the Bronx Times because they referenced it to AM New York, which, again, we're going to find out what the address of this building is. I just want to see if there is an address. Okay, 2397 Grand. So let's look it up. Okay, we're going to look it up. See where this is in the Bronx. Zoom out to get a better idea. So, not too far from where the concourse is. Right by Dyckman Heights. Yep, so I know exactly where this is. Not too far from Belmont. Let's get a street view of the apartment and get a look at it. Yeah, definitely an old school type building right here. At least there was a fire escape. So, thank goodness this building did have a fire escape, because if it didn't, then... Oof. You even go far back as 2007, and as you can see here, the building did have a fire escape. In fact, hang on, are those newer air conditioning models or no? Probably still the same. Knowing our luck. Yeah, they look a little bit newer, but still, I mean, you gotta close the door. That's the bottom line. And, you know, Channel 1, it's like they don't care. They don't really care. So we're gonna get to some transit stories. So obviously, since this is an obligation, as a member of Passengers United, I feel that I do have to read some of these stories that I have put in some research, and of course, watching the news. First up, let's get into some transit assaults, because 2 of them were involving MTA employees. One of them actually involved sex. So let's get to the main priority, MTA employees. And obviously, Passengers United does support members of the Transit Workers Union who have to constantly deal with the pressures of what the job is in front of them. So here we go. This incident happened on January 23rd. So this was a Sunday. All right. So an employee was assaulted with pepper spray. So this happened on 66th Street. So this is the woman who they are looking for right here. So it says here, MX66 bus. She pepper sprayed him multiple times before throwing the whole can at him. She left the bus at a West 66th Street stop and fled on foot. The driver sustained minor injuries. Police said he was treated on scene. Suspect was last seen wearing a black jacket, multicolored scarf, and dark pants. So, obviously, very, very, very disturbing. Oh, I didn't see this on AM New York. We'll have to read that later on. Just making sure this is a recent article. Yep, this is a recent article. We'll definitely read this later on. And then Channel 7 did bring up this. This happened a couple days ago, but Michelle Charlesworth did bring this up on the morning news this morning. 2 subway conductors punched by assailant minutes apart in the Bronx. Here we go. 2 subway conductors were assaulted minutes apart in the Bronx on Thursday afternoon, February 3rd, and police are investigating if the attacks are connected. The first worker was targeted just after 3 p.m. at the Prospect Avenue station as he was peeking out a subway window to make sure the train doors were clear of commuters. A male suspect threw a punch at the conductor, who was struck in the wrist after he raised his arm in defense. The conductor also slammed his head and tried to avoid the attack. He was taken to nearby NYC Health Lincoln Hospital for treatment. Minutes later, at the Jackson Avenue station, the next stop in the 2-5 line, another conductor was punched in the head. Okay. So they're looking for a male suspect. And he's believed to be in his 40s. But still, very, very disturbing. Yep, Channel 7 showed the same video. This is it right here. I just had to do that.
Punched a train conductor on his arm as he was conducting a safety check on the 5 train. Then just 7 minutes later, as the 2 train was stopped at the station, police say the man approached the conductor's car, reached inside, and punched him.
Alright, so what I can do is pause it from right around here. Here we go. Okay, so suspect is described as somebody who may be black or medium dark skin complexion. Last seen wearing a backpack, black jacket, wearing a hood. Okay, so that definitely helps on that. In this picture, the suspect is apparently holding what appears to be a cup of coffee. So see, I just had to look up News 12 The Bronx. They actually covered it. Compared to Channel 1, surprisingly. I thought I could find it on Crime Stoppers. I guess not. And then this happened. West Village subway creep who tried to rape a woman. Yep, and this happened literally right by Channel 1 studios. You cannot make this stuff up. It's like whenever something happens right by New York 1 studios, you know, they just don't want to seem to cover it. Okay, so this happened on January 14th. Wow! So this happened last month. This happened on a Friday. Here we go. 14th Street, 7th Avenue, 123 line. The suspect approached a 45-year-old woman as she stood on the northbound platform and punched her in the arm. He then hurled her to the floor and then attempted to rape her. That's when other passengers intervened and stopped the attack. The creep then boarded an arriving northbound train and then fled the area. The incident was reported to the 13th Precinct in Transit District 2. The victim refused medical attention. So there you go. There is some good news. I want you to watch this.
Another MTA hero for you to meet tonight. Station cleaner William Arzu saw someone enter an unauthorized area of the track and remove New York City transit equipment, possibly to sell illegally. This happened at a station in Queens a few weeks ago. Well, he alerted an agent and responding officers made an arrest. The MTA thanking Mr. Arzu for being alert to keeping the system safe. If you want to learn more about our MTA heroes, just go to ABC7NY.
Yep. Thank you, William Arzu. Thank you. I mean, that is Very important. The MTA in a statement said to William and all of our station cleaners, we thank you for saying something when you see something, and of course for all of your work to keep our system safe and clean each day. So that's very important. I will definitely be praising him later this month at the committee meeting, of course. Originally, I was only supposed to speak at CPOC, but if there's a matter involving New York City Transit, you know I'm going to get involved, and I'll probably even have to talk about the subway fires. Okay, so trying to go back to AM New York. There is 2 more stories I have to read from AM New York. So let's read this one. Nightclub shooting. Marine Park section. Police said the shooting happened around 2:53 a.m. on Saturday, February 5th, inside the King's Secret Gem Party Hall at 2282 Flatbush Avenue. Officers from the 63rd Precinct responded to a 911 call of a man shot location, found a 31-year-old male victim with a bullet wound to his stomach. EMS rushed the victim to Kings County Hospital and he is listed in stable condition. Law enforcement sources said the victim was attending a party. The circumstances leading up to the shooting remains unclear. Police are looking for a male suspect who was last seen fleeing inside a black Nissan heading northbound on Flatbush Avenue. So, obviously, I believe I know exactly where this is. Let's Google this address. Copy. Control V. And there we go. Let's see where this is. Yep, right by the Flatlands. I know exactly where this is. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. So you got that going on. And then this. Bigoted brutes off for attacking a transgender teen near a Brooklyn high school. Cops said the hate crime happened at 3:15 p.m. on January 18th in the area of 145 Pennsylvania Avenue, the W.H. Maxwell's Career and Technical Education School. Law enforcement sources said the 15-year-old transgender female was walking through the area when the suspect approached and uttered a number of anti-transgender statements. He punched the teen multiple times in the face and fled the scene in an unknown direction. The incident was later reported at 75th Precinct. Police said the victim sustained minor injuries to her face but refused medical attention. The case was later presented to the Hate Crimes Task Force Unit. It is one of 5 hate crimes centered around the victim's sexual orientation that occurred across New York City in January. Okay, so this is a suspect description they're looking for. They're looking for a black male, last seen wearing a shirt that appears to be saying volunteer. Kind of looks sketchy, but this looks like a tie-dye shirt. See? Yeah. And then this last one. Robbery in Queens. Let's read this. In Jamaica. Here we go. First incident on January 26th in Jamaica Avenue. The man pretended to have a gun and approached a 12-year-old boy, stealing his cell phone before running off. 5 days later, the suspect approached a 26-year-old man on Parsons Boulevard at 8:30. Police said the suspect displayed a firearm and stole the victim's Metro card. The last incident happened on February 2nd. The suspect approached a 18-year-old man who was walking near 161st Street and Jamaica Avenue and pretended to have a firearm. Suspect demanded money before removing $80 from the victim and fleeing. So, very, very alarming. You know, Channel 1's not going to cover any of these, so. That's it. I mean, stories don't stop on Saturday. In fact, hang on. I think there actually was one more I completely almost forgot about. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, look at this. Accident in Kew Gardens. Jackie Robinson and Grand Central Parkway. Motorcycle accident. Off-duty NYPD officer Very, very unfortunate. I'm looking for this. Here we go. Police closed off Cronin Avenue by 169th and 170th Street, reporting manhole explosion. 2 cars resulted in fire. Firefighters are working on the scene. EMS checking for injuries. Con Ed en route. 1 car has caused an explosion. So there you go. So again, Channel 1 ignoring the news as usual. What else is new from them? So that's it.